Hello folks, today is FX6 first time cleaning day. Turn on the little light under here. So yes, this I got this today's March 29th, and I set this filter up and got it running on December 10th, so it's going on 4 months since I've done since I set it up. So today's going to be the first full cleaning of the FX6. I've changed pads out and done minor stuff, but never did a full cleaning, so here we go. Okay, so I have my 4 buckets over here behind me, about halfway to 3/4 filled up. So these filters come with actually a tube where you can unfill the filter from here, and the reason for this is from the bottom. The reason for this is so it makes it lighter and less messy. I'm not using that because of I'm pretty sure by now I have in my filter, my biofilter media, anoxic anaerobic bacteria that doesn't have oxygen, and over time, I don't know how long it takes. In research, it could take a few minutes, or it could take up to 72 hours. But you can kill the anaerobic bacteria if you leave it out of the water for too long in oxygen. So that's the reason why I'm not using that, and plus, hopefully, I won't make a mess. So the first thing I'm going to do is unclip all these. I'm not going to waste time filming that because it's going to take a few minutes, and then I'm going to take off the top, and hopefully not too much water is going to spill out, but I do have a lot of towels next to me, so if it does happen, I'm going to put it around there so it doesn't spill too much. So from the top doesn't look too bad considering it's almost 4 months of heavy feeding in a well-stocked 150-gallon tank. So I'm going to pull this out now. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's do a survey of what we have here. We have our CChem matrix submerged in water, more CChem matrix, and some biomedia called BioHome Ultimate, which is actually super duper expensive. This is the first media that I put in the Fluval FX6, which came from another canister filter in my smaller discus tank. Some filter called Sun that still has the other half of this media. So this is considered top of the market media, but from everything I've researched, the CChem matrix is just fine, just about as good. So yeah, there's my biomedia. It's all submerged. I also have the sponges submerged, which I'm going to squeeze out. And here is the polishing pad, the Fluval polishing pad that I had in there. And as you can see, that thing has gotten really gunked up, so I'm sure that slowed things up. Squeeze out these side sponges. These are the sponges that line up the side of the Fluval 6. In case you're not aware, the design of the Fluval 6, the water comes in through the bottom, up the sides, goes through these side sponges, so it's a pretty intense mechanical filtration, goes up, and then it goes down through more sponges, filter pads, whatever you want to call it, and then through your biomedia all the way through. And then if you have chemical media, which I do have at the bottom, which I'm taking out, I'm no longer going to be using chemical media, and I'll be replacing it with more biomedia. When I say I'm no longer going to be using chemical media, I mean in the FX6 only. I have 3 Title 110s, and they all have chemical and bio and mechanical in them. So that's pretty much all I need for the chemical media, because I have plenty of chemical media ranging from carbon, high-end carbon, pure carbon, and resin, and of course Purigen. So I have plenty of chemical media in the 3 titles that are at the top. So this, for the purpose of not having to open it as often, I'm going to change it out to strictly biomedia along with mechanical. Here's my mango tree, which I always drain my fish tank water out into, and I dumped the water that was left in the FX6 that was brown, not that brown, but brown, into the tree. But surprisingly, again, to my astonishment, because I've seen a lot of videos, a few videos out there on YouTube showing people cleaning out their FX6s, and I don't know, man. These are the paper towels, and you can see it's barely dirty. I was expecting a whole bunch of gunk to come out. The only thing that was slightly concerning, I used sand substrate. There was a little bit of sand in there, not that much, just a little bit. So I actually put it up here on the slide and used the water hose and really gave it a good drain out. But I was wiping it down before I even drained it out, and considering it was actually a lot cleaner, and my filter media, as you could see before, was very clean, including the sponges, the pads that go up the side, even before the polishing pad. As you can see, that polishing pad was pretty gunked up, and I guess that's a testament of not only for water quality to use polishing pads, but also for it helps your at least your canister filter catch stuff before it hits the biomedia, because you want the water hitting the biomedia not to have big particles in it. And then finally you go through your chemical media, if you have it set up that way, which is the last stage, because you don't want it over filtered before it hits your biomedia. So your biomedia is usually supposed to be in the middle, but you definitely don't want it getting it gunked up. And in this case, I'm not going to have chemical, as I mentioned before, since I have enough chemical in all my other filters. So anyway, I just thought this would be beneficial. And it makes me wonder, all these videos that I've seen out there, when they say it's been such and such a time, whether it's actually been longer, because I've seen some videos where the filters looked horrendous when they were changing it. And that's what I was more expecting. And to my satisfaction and surprise, pleasant surprise I should say, my filter is a lot cleaner than I expected, and that's probably why the flow is still very good. So anyway, I'm going to go back inside and start rebuilding this filter now. Okay, so I was unaware, because it's been a while, that I had actually more biomedia under this tray in here, where this is the polishing pad, which I'm about to switch out. As you can see how gunked up it is. This was under there, and it was only partially so. Okay, so I'm about to change out the polishing pad. This is what I was using, my other polishing pads before this, but I've gotten these on sale, so I have the actual ones. The polishing pad, I actually slightly switch it down and put it back right in there. And I'll start rebuilding the rest. So here's a new bag of C-Chem that replaced the Chemi Pure Blue, so no more chemical in there. I'm going to restack the bio also into so this one goes on the bottom, this one is in the middle. I'm going to put the biomedia back in there, which is more C-Chem matrix, and then we got the sponges which go on the side. And then okay, everything's fully restacked. I actually filled the water all the way to the top, so it might get a little messy when I'm putting the cover back on there. But just to review, this FX6 has mechanical filtration all the way through the side. So it actually travels, the water comes in through the bottom, travels through all this mechanical filtration, which is a ton of mechanical filtration, then through this biofoam, also mechanical, but it contains bacteria too, beneficial bacteria. Then I have a polishing pad under that, and then I have that section split into two. It also has C-Chem and biohome filter biomedia, and then I have it all the way throughout on the other two large trays, C-Chem matrix and the biohome. So this is chock full of biomedia now, and I'm about to reclose it up and not power it back on. Then I'm about to do the water change, because as you can see, I took out a lot of water just working on this filter alone. But I still have a ways to go to get down to about 60%, which is what I do nowadays. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to close it up and then wrap this up. Okay, so I had to reopen up the filter. The way I was showing you, the way I was stacking it, you can't assemble it that way. I forgot the two red clamps. You actually have to stack it in one piece. Put the red clamps on, which I did very fast while it was out of the water. Stuck it back in there, and then put everything back together. So yeah, it's ready to go now. Now time for the water change. And filling back up. Good morning, Discus. Next morning post water change. They did skip a meal last night and they're looking extremely hungry. Hello. Tank is what you would expect after a water change. Crystal clear. Fluval is running strong. So yeah, success. And one last quick antidote. When deciding what type of filtration, and you really can't go wrong either way for a discus tank, I was deciding, do I go sump or do I go with the FX6 and the other filters that I have on the tank? And after thinking about it, I decided to go with the FX6. Reason being, it's a lot neater and smaller and compact, so I wanted to keep more space for other things in my cabinet. Also, over time, sumps do get kind of, I don't know, used looking, you should say. The FX6 always stays neat. And finally, I got a great deal on it. I got on sale during Black Friday, and I kind of wish I would have got two, but between the Fluval and the 3 titles, I got plenty of gallons per hour and plenty of surface area. So yeah, very happy. Everything went. And thank you for watching Shifts Discus.